Good morning. It is May 16th and it's day 2 in Kyoto, but day 4 overall, I think.
What's up, guys? This is Sue. We're about to do a little konbini run. I need to fill out my IC card because I spent half my transportation money on konbini food. So I have to do that. And afterwards, we're going to go on a little bit of a tour about the history of Christianity in Japan. When do we get our per diem? Yeah, we get money weekly.
I wish we supposed to get it today, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just gonna use my credit card, I guess, because I have no more money.
Yeah, I wish TK just gave it all in the beginning.
Yeah,
so I could
spend it
all on that first week. Alright, we ready to go?
Okay. Little fit checks.
Little fit check. GU. Somewhere I got the shoes somewhere in Europe. This my mom got me. So what's up?
Got Uniqlo Aerism shirt, which I'm cotton on, and then Nike. And then Patagonia bag.
Tight.
Alright, we'll go to 7-Eleven. See ya. Bye-bye. As we met back up with the team.
Right now, but it is.
The good news is once you feel it, it's like down.
And we're about to get on the bus and then go to the Christian Japanese history lesson. We're at the place.
What's up?
Have you been here before?
No.
This is the Japanese Christian history. Well, we're going into the room with a lot of old Christian artifacts. Oh.
の500年前の1500年前の初めの教会の様子です。
So this is one of the first churches from 500 years ago in the 1500s, 1549, around that time.
お寺みたいですね。
So it looks very similar to a Buddhist temple.
30年ぐらいは選挙ができました。
So for around the first 30 years after the gospel first reached Japan, you could freely do mission works without any restrictions or
多
persecution.
くの人々が新しい宗教、すなわちキリスト教に信仰を持つようになりました。10.5%。
And in those times, a lot of people came to faith. It's said to have been around 2.5% of the population. So Christianity spread really, really rapidly in the early days, but that rapid growth eventually clashed with the government and with temples and with shrines. And then eventually missionaries were kicked out of the country and Christianity was prohibited.
この迫害の中でこのようなこともありました。それは全国的にキリスト教の禁じのことです。
So one of the laws that were implemented that worked to persecute Christians is one of these was a replica of a so like legal tablet. So these boards or these tablets were put up all around town, all around the country, and they put a bounty on missionaries and on monks and nuns and just general believers, and you would get a reward depending on who it is if you reported these people to the authorities.
そのあなたがクリスチャンであることを証明しなこのことをご存知ですか皆さん
Some of you guys might have seen this before, but this is one method how authorities tested you if you were a Christian or not.
これは踏み絵です
It's called a fumie. Basically, people were called to places that would act like police stations nowadays, and then people were ordered to step on this plate with either a picture of Jesus or a picture of Mary on it. The authorities would march you 800 kilometers over 30 days, so 800 kilometers, that's like 500 miles, to Nagasaki, and you were only released if you denounced your faith. So the people at the time, they were aware that they were going to be executed for their faith in Nagasaki. But the people still willingly went to Nagasaki, not wavering in their faith.
なぜでしょうか
Yeah. Why might that have been? It was because they had faith in the resurrection. They had faith in Jesus, and they knew that they were going to be with God, even if they were executed.
このようなものもありますね。皆さんこれは何です？
Can you guys tell what this thing is?
ミル
It is a mirror.
これも同じですが、今これは最近、クリスチャンたちが作ったものです。これをよく見えますか？うんうん。
So this is a very modern replica. This is not as blurred. So you can probably see your picture, your face very clearly in here.
しかしこれは魔教というものですが、クリスチャンたちはこれを作ってこの太陽光に映ったらこの中で十字架が見えます。皆さん今光がありますので少し見ましょうか。
So this is not just the regular mirror. This is what is called the makyo. It translates to magic mirror. So you'll see what it does in a second. Maybe a little hard to see in the sunlight. Thank you. Yeah, so
見えます？
see you.
少し後ろに。
See Jesus on the cross is reflected.
これが、イエス・キリストですね。イエス・キリストの十字架のこと。それを持って密かに自分たちの信仰、礼拝したり、そういうこと。これを用いて、そういうことでした。
So yeah, there's another example of how people practice their faith in hiding. So not outwardly, but in hiding.
これが魔教です。はい、以上です。
This is the magic mirror. So these are all from the time before Protestantism came to Japan, but these are actually not replica. This is from around 150 years ago when first Protestant missionaries came to Japan.
それでこのようなものあります。それが昔の聖書ですが、聖書ですか？昔の聖書はアメリカから北英国聖書って北英国ってアメリカの意味。
So this is a very old copy of the New Testament. This is the Gospel of Mark. This is from
マルコ。
1882. Now, before we had the Bible on our phones, we had individual copies of the Bible of just individual books. Pastor Lee, as a Korean man, was really surprised to find out that the first Korean translation of the Bible originates in Japan. So a man who was studying in Japan heard the gospel here, and then went back to Korea, transcribed the Bible into Korean, and that was the first Korean Bible. And while the Christian population in Japan is only 1% now, back in the day, when that man from Korea came to Japan and then went back to Korea with translation in Korean, if you look at Christianity in Korea now, in Korea it's around 30% of the population are believers. So yeah, even though the Christian population was very small in Japan, they did have an impact. So we really pray that that God will use you together with the believers and the missionaries here in Japan. That you will be faithful, bold witnesses.
以上です。
Great missionaries.
Hi guys, we just got outside the place. What did you think about that?
It was really cool. I heard and read about it from other people that have been on this trip, but it was cool to see it
Watch
myself.
out, there's a biker behind.
Yeah.
Watch out.
We learned a lot about just the interesting
Watch out.
past about Japanese Christians and Christianity in Japan. I don't know where we're about to go next. Where are we about to go next?
I don't even know.
Oh, we're about to go to the bridge where the 26 martyrs began their journey from
I don't even know where
Kyoto to Nagasaki. Yeah.
24 started, and then 2 joined along the way.
Whoa. Wait, I actually didn't know that.
And then there was 26 who were martyred.
We're on the way to the river place where the 24 started, and this place is so pretty.
And they walked them from Kyoto all the way to Nagasaki. And so this bridge was actually the starting point of the 24 martyrs as they walked from Kyoto to Nagasaki. And so this place is actually significant because what they did when they started the march is they put your head over into the river like this, and they cut off an ear to symbolize that you were like a martyr, like to signify like this is like, don't follow this guy. So they did that with all 24 people. They put their heads over, they cut off a ear, and that's how they started the march from here to Nagasaki. And so just kind of think about that imagery of, like he's saying, like walking every day, like a marathon a day, all the way from here to Nagasaki. And part of it was also to like show people like, hey, this is what we're doing to Christians. Like, don't be a Christian, don't be like these people. And so the ear cutting off was a way to kind of signify that as they walked over. And so you kind of think about like what Tim said on Friday, like Kyoto was the center of culture, the center of the capital at that point, right? So like the impact that it has, like going from Kyoto out, right? Like because this was the capital, because this was the cultural capital, like that's kind of how the persecution of Christians spread out from this place as well. But as we think about like the privilege we get to have to like work with students, right? Like the inverse can be true. Like if persecution can start out from Japan and kind of impact the rest of Japan, like how much more can Christian students start in Japan and then leave from Japan too? Like we think of, like for me, I specifically think of like Takahashi's, and like just being a Kyodai student has a lot of weight to it. Like he's smart, people recognize that, and so his words hold a little stronger meaning. And so what that looks like, we had another student graduate recently, her name's Hina. She also went to Kyodai, was a master's student at Kyodai, and so the same thing, like someone that has a lot of respect from where they've been, where they've studied, and now she's in Yokohama trying to share the gospel in her country, in her company, and that kind of stuff. And so I'm gonna read out the list of names of people of the martyrs. And I think it's like, if you can think about it and listen to it, like some of these people changed their first names to biblical names, and so like kind of similar to us, like we have an English first name, but then we have like Asian last names. And so like when I read this list, I'm like, wow, that's like kind of crazy. Like one of the guys' names is like Paul Suzuki. I was like, I like probably know a Paul Suzuki in America, but that's kind of the realm that we're stepping into. So some of these people were Japanese and some of them were foreigners as well. So I'm gonna read their names, and then we'll pray a little bit, because persecution still occurs in the Japanese church, in the global church as a whole. So we'll pray a little. You guys can kind of look around. If you want to walk down a little, we can walk down a little, and then we'll go to lunch. But I'll read the names, okay. So these are the foreign missionaries that came. So Martin of the Ascension, Pedro Batista, Philip of Jesus, Francisco Blanco, Francisco of St. Michael, and Gonsalvo Garcia. And these are now the Japanese. Anthony Dainan, Bonaventure of Miyako, Cosmas Takeya, Francisco of Nagasaki, Francis Kichi, Gabriel de Disco, Joachim Sakakibara, John Kisaka, Leo Karasumara, Luis Ibaraki, Matthias of Miyako, Michael Kozaki, Paul Ibaraki, Paul Suzuki, Peter Sukejiro, Thomas Kozaki, Thomas Kiko, aka Thomas Danki, and then a couple more Japanese Jesuits, James Kisai, John Soan de Goto, and Paul Miki. So, yeah, I hope that resonates with you in the way that it resonates with me.
It's the interns.
Hi. Hello. Oh, I see myself.
Largest, temples in the northern part of Kyoto. And something that's special about this temple is that it has Christian influences. So the person who designed it converted to Christianity when he was around 48. And so there's a garden that we'll go to that is has like 7 stones in the shape of a cross. And so that's to commemorate the Kakure Christian the hidden Christians who had to practice their faith in secret during the persecution, which was around like 250 years long. But yeah, just for context of like a timeline, this temple was built about 50 years before the martyrs went to Nagasaki. So there was a time period before persecution where Christianity did have some influence in Kyoto and in Japan. So yeah, as you walk through, you can just think about what it might have been like to be a Christian at that time before persecution happened.
Enjoy a short montage of Zen peacefulness, I guess. Okay, cut to the montage. We just finished looking at the temple, and
It was awesome. It was really cool. I felt like I was in Demon Slayer.
yeah, it was really cool seeing just how far back in time we went. Like, I think that was like, how long ago was that? Like, really
150?
long.
150 years.
Huh?
The thing was made in like the 1400s.
Wow, the 1400s. So, like 600 years ago. Yeah. So that was before Japanese persecution of Christianity, and then so it was really cool seeing like history from back then. But now we're at a mochi place, which has been running for around 25 generations. It's been a thing for 1,000 years, which is pretty crazy. We're gonna get some mochi, and then we have free time from now, which is 3 until 11 p.m. Okay, bye guys. Hi guys.
Oh, what if there's fish in this?
We got our mochi.
We all have too many allergies to watch. It low-key looks like just like really burnt marshmallows, and they poured sugar on it.
Cheers. Cheers. So I'll try it.
Don't try it yet? Hold. On a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, you eat like a lollipop. Okay.
It's looking pretty good. I think it's like,
There's milk in it.
it's very sweet. Not very sweet. It's very savory. It's sweet.
Savory, yeah. It's savory.
Oh, you're
But
not
it still
supposed to
has
eat the whole thing at a time?
sweetness to it.
Are you supposed to take small
It's
bites?
very like roasted. I like the roasted flavor.
Oh, but you already had it. So
But
I
yeah.
trust you.
That's all for the mochi and the tea. We're gonna go shopping, so I don't know how much I'll record, but see y'all.